Hello guys, welcome to TM6 Adventures. Lisa here. Today I'm going to go through making some jam pretty much. Now to me it seems really easy, but I know sometimes people don't do this because it is perceived to be hard. So today I'm going to show you how easy it is to make your own jam in the Thermomix. I have written this up as my own recipe. I've edited the one within Cookie Dough to make it something that we enjoy with a little less sugar. Today I'm even doing a smaller batch because I've been out in the garden and the kids have picked strawberries. So excuse the apple around the strawberries. But yeah, so I'm going to make a half batch. So I'm going to learn today not just about the different ways of using your Thermomix, but I'm also going to go through how to half things. You know, like you might not want to make a full batch. What do you do differently, especially when there's cooking involved? So come with me today, say hi if you're watching on so that these videos continue to show up in your feed. And let's get on to this recipe. Now you'll see this recipe is presented a little differently. Okay, not only has it got my surname, Keegan's Strawberry Jam, but it looks different from the word go. It says that it's imported by Lisa, me. And then as we go on, you'll see that it presents differently. This is because this is a Cookie Dough 3.0 recipe where you actually have the option to edit Cookie Dough recipes or recipe community recipes, create them as guided recipes so that then when, in my case, my children or husband want to make it, they can come up and follow it without me having to dictate from the other side of the room how I'd like them to make it. Okay, and I love it. I adore the ability to change these recipes. Okay, it means that we can tweak them to make them the way we want them, which is just, I need that in my life, especially because I'm empowering my family to use my Thermomix. Now, if at the moment your Thermomix is not used by your extended family, it's time, okay? It's time to let them loose on it. They cannot break it. Like, seriously, like you can't, unless you don't assemble your bowl properly and you've got a TM5 or a 31, there's nothing they can do. So let them loose on it, empower them, teach them how to use it so that then they can do it for you, which makes things so much easier. That has been one of my biggest things, and I'll talk more about this in the coming week about having my family cook, because it has lightened my load significantly. 8-year-old, 10-year-old, 11-year-old, and 13-year-old all use the Thermomix a day a week. They are in charge of cooking, and it has been a game changer in 2024 for us. I'm going to talk to you more about what they cook as well, but today let's just get back on jam. Let this get this cooking, and I'm going to talk more. So we're going to start cooking. You'll see it presents differently. So as I made mention, this is to do with waiting for internet and probably my cold finger, because it is freezing today, to wake up. Or maybe it's just having a moment like I feel this morning. It is really cold. It is lunchtime and it is only like 6 degrees or something crazy. So it could be one of the above. But Cookie Dough 3.0. Now, you've heard me already this last couple of videos talk about locking in your subscription. Okay, if you have Cookie Dough and you sometimes use it, and you are a new-ish user, or maybe your Cookie Dough has expired, go back and lock it in at $69. Okay, after the 28th, it is going to be $89 a year for those new people joining us with Thermomixes. Okay, so it's really taking a moment today. It's really taking a moment today. It's really cold today. But we're going to turn this into a troubleshoot. Okay, hang with me for a second. Nothing like things going pear-shaped online. Now, it doesn't surprise me. Our internet has been playing up significantly the last 2 days, and I don't know if it's the wind or what. There we go. It realized it had a trouble and it's turning off and on. So give it a moment, let it come back alive. And it's just like a computer or a phone. I was going to say an iPhone, but any phone. You know, there are times when there are glitches with computers, and no different with our Thermomix. Here we go. We're going to turn it back on and go again. So troubleshooting though, might as well do that since I'm sitting here. It doesn't happen very often, but let's say it does. Say for some reason your internet goes out and it does something funny to your Thermomix. What do you do? If your Thermomix is frozen, okay, and nothing is responding, and as I said, I've got 600 of you guys that are actually customers who bought Thermomixes from me. I've got a whole lot of more of you who reach out for support and you didn't buy Thermomix from me. I don't get these questions very often. So it's not something that happens regularly at all. Like, I can't remember the last time someone reached out to me and said, hey, my Thermomix is frozen. Okay, it's been a long time. I don't even know if anyone has since I've relocated. Look at this. Now it's saying unexpected shutdown. Please always use the selector to shut down your Thermomix. Yep, perfect. That will show up if you ever flick it off with a PowerPoint, which is our emergency reset. If for some reason the bowl is locked and it won't undo, if it's frozen and it won't undo, PowerPoint, flick it off. Give it 3 seconds, flick it on, okay? Now mine, I didn't turn off the PowerPoint, I was about to. That was my troubleshoot, but I didn't have to. You've got your safety instructions. They will have to be stepped through. And even if you turn on and off to the Thermomix, it will come up with these safety instructions, making sure you've read them and you remember them and that you're using your Thermomix in a safe manner, which is cool. Give it a moment to connect back. Let's hope my internet is playing friendly. But I'll give it a second. You'll see it'll say connecting to cookie do in a moment. If you jump in too quickly and try and bring that up, you'll see it'll tell you there's no connection because it hasn't had a chance to catch your internet and then connect to your cookie do. So you've got to give it a moment. So, what was I saying? 3.0, editing your own recipes. Amazing, okay? And as I said, I do it because then other people can make the recipe the way that I want it to. Let's come here. Let's see if I can go to my recipes. Created recipes. Let's see. Are we talking to each other today? Otherwise, we're going to manually cook. And that's another way you can use your Thermomix, okay, is manually making things. Now, those of you who have graduated over time from a TM31 to a TM5 to a TM6, you most likely use your Thermomix manually because that's how we used to cook with a TM31. We had to make it manually, okay? We didn't have that option of guided cooking that told us on the screen what to do, which is amazing. That's the way my kids cook. That's how they know how to cook. But that's how, when we had a TM31, we had to have a cookbook. We had to go time, temperature, speed. You kind of learned instinctively what chopping was and how to do that. We don't have to anymore with the new TM6, yeah? Let me come to this recipe. Let's get cracking on this recipe. You can see all these recipes. These are edited recipes, or they're ones that have come in from recipe community or have been actually added in there. And I'm looking through. Can you believe that my children use this more than I do these days? And so as I scroll down, there it is. I was like, how far down do I need to go? These edited recipes, you've only got 100. If you, yeah, it's thinking. I'm like, did I push it? My fingers are incredibly cold today, which does not help. I don't know about you, but my fingers do not respond to touch screens in the cold. They never have. So let's go straight to start cooking. Let's see if it'll actually work this time. All right, yes. Okay, so you get this different view. We don't normally have this when we're cooking the cookie dough recipes, and we go sideways instead of up and down. You'll notice there's green underlines under words. So it says place the strawberries. If I've entered this incorrectly or I've brought it over from cookie dough, it automatically puts them in, those weights, those speeds. So when I click on strawberries, I can barely use my fingers today. Hello, Chris. Lovely to see you on today. 250 grams of strawberries, hulled, cut into bits. Now, I'll just unload the apple. Okay, so this is how we judge then how much we actually make, whether we're making a full batch or a half batch. So these strawberries just come in from the yard. I find if we don't eat them straight away, they end up sitting there in a container, and then within a few days they're a bit moldy. So that's why we try and use them straight away. Hello, Linda. Hello, Kathy. Lovely to have you guys on. You can see I've only got 150, so it's about a little bit more than half. So I'm going to be making a half batch of this today, and that's okay. But let me show you in a moment how we then cook it differently. Because if I cook a full length at a half batch, I'm going to reduce this way down to a paste instead of a jam, okay? So 156 grams of strawberries. You could top it up with frozen, or, you know, I've got some leftover cherries in the freezer, things like that, but I want to just use ours today. Then it says lemon juice. Okay, it says 10 grams. It's not much. If you are lucky enough to have been around a long time, okay, so you may not use cookie dough much if you've been a TM31 owner, but what you will have is one of the amazing hard spatulas from our TM31 days. They were annoying as anything. Does anyone else remember those? But what they are amazing at is juicing. Okay, one of their highlights. They were not very good at scraping the bowl. They're very different to our modern, amazing TM6 spatulas. Can you guys see there's a shape difference? There's even a flexiness difference. These are amazing. If you're a TM31 owner still, by the way, you can go to the mix shop and buy the new style ones. So they've got the clip to remove your simmering basket still, just like the originals, but they're actually a spatula, not just rigid and hard. But the rigid and hard is fabulous for juicing. It actually goes beautifully in. Now we just need 10 grams or probably 5 today, which is not much. And you just poke it in, and because you're poking it in, it actually gives it control. There we go. A little bit more, that's okay. And I'm done. So these were and are, I still have it because I love using it for juicing, okay? All right. Next up, it's asking for some sugar. Okay, 50 grams. So I'm just going to do 25 grams. I didn't reset my scales. What was I on? 6 grams. Because I haven't gone next. Now I can reset this recipe. I've gone a little over, that's okay. If you want to make it so that every ingredient has its own step, then that's perfectly fine. And you can do that. You can just simply go in, edit a recipe, and go and separate it out. In this case, I know what this recipe is. I'm just going to follow it through. It's everything in and then cook it. So it's not overly complex, but ordinarily, if it's a long recipe that you've added in yourself, you'll want to separate it out. So add strawberries, next. Add lemon juice, next. Because it resets those scales every time for you. Does that make sense? Whereas at the moment, it's adding on because I never went and closed it and then went to the next button. Okay, apple cored cut into pieces. This doesn't need to be weighed. I've just taken an apple that the kids didn't eat. And I'm actually going to jump out of the recipe. And I didn't have the apple. I'm happy for it to have more apple in it. That kind of gives it a bit more sweetness anyway, a bit more fiber. Don't mind. Okay, and that's it. That's all my ingredients in. You can put some vanilla in this if you like as well. It's beautiful. I didn't get it out. So it says place strawberries, lemon juice, sugar, and apple into mixing bowl. Place the Vorwerk dish in position without the measuring cup and cook 25 to 35. Now, before I do that, those apples are big. I could have diced them up smaller, but I just can't be bothered. So we have a Thermomix, we chop, right? Hello, Andrea, lovely to have you on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up my little, down the bottom there's the little green button. Now I can click on that to bring up my things, or I can press the underline. It says 25 minutes to 35 minutes for aroma speed 1. I'm just going to bring up this little speed down the bottom. You can see it's pre-populated what I'm going to need to do, which I'm not going to cook for 25 minutes. I tell you, if you cook for 25 minutes, it is going to be like solid, okay? Like paste. We don't want paste jam. If that happens, don't let it go to waste. Okay, add some water. So I boil the kettle, my actual kettle, and add a little bit of water in and turn it into more like a syrup. Okay, do not let that go to waste. If that happens and you are freaking out, ring me, message me. Lisa, I've just cooked this. I forgot to halve the time. What do I do? Okay, do not chuck it out. Okay, ever, never. Anything you're making your Thermomix, do not throw out. Ring me first before you go and ditch anything. But what I want to do is I want to chop that apple. So I'm just going to override this for a second. It's going to stop its speed. What was that, 1? But I'm just going to go up to 1, let it get to 1, and then I'm going to go up to speed 5 for a second. I want to chop that apple and chop it. Doesn't take long. What was that, 3 seconds? Here we go. Waiting for the arms. And there we go. All right, I'm happy with that. That chop on the apple is nice. There's a few little big bits. It's still not big though. They're not big chunks. They're kind of, I'll show you. Excuse the fingers. That's not big. So now we're good to go. Now, as I said though, this long length of time is way too long. I need to bring it down to normally 3/4. Okay, so if this is 25 to 35, we're going to bring it down to somewhere between 15 and 20. I'll actually put it on 18. So I'm going to bring that there. I'm going to touch on it, and you can override even your guided recipes. Okay, I am going to put a timer on. I'm just going to get this started because I want to show you something, because I think this is an underused part of our Thermomix. This little drop down at the top has a timer under it. Do you use it? Because I know that when I've asked, many people forget it's even there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a timer on for 15 minutes. And yes, I could just put 15 minutes on the Thermomix. I get that. But I want to remind you the timer is there. If it's there, I'd like you to use it, okay? So you'll see me over the next couple of little whiles in some videos using timer, because I want you to utilize it all if you can. I don't want you to forget that it's there, okay? We asked for timer for years to come back. It was on our TM5s along with notes. Who remembers the notes on the TM5? It was on that, okay? And we asked for ages to have it back. And then finally, what are we on now? 8 years on. We finally got timer, but if we don't use it, why? So, utilize it. It's great. I used it over the weekend. We brought in a whole lot of broccoli and cauliflower from the garden, and I wanted to blanch it. And so all I did is I bought 1.8 litres approximately of water. I used my kettle feature, brought it to the boil, and then I put it on the egg boiler mode and I said put it to soft. But see, soft still cooks it for 8 minutes or something. To blanch it, you want 3 minutes. So I put it on the soft because it's stationary then, it's just boiling stationary, whereas the kettle still stirs. And I put the timer on for 3 minutes and I walked away and did other stuff. It sang to me in 3 minutes. I came back. I had a ice bath ready to go. I then just got everything out into the ice bath. Normally I would pour it into the Vorwerk to strain it, but I wanted to reuse the water. We did about 5 batches or 6 batches. So I wanted to reuse that water, so I just scooped it all out, put it in the ice bath. Once it was cold, put it on a tray, put it in the freezer. Once it was frozen, into a vacuum seal bag, and now it's good for when broccoli and cauliflower gets crazy expensive again. So a great way that if you do have excess, or even if you can buy it on the cheap, 99 cents for a head of cauliflower or something, and just put it away, because sometimes the year it's crazy priced, right? So anyway, so that's what I use timer for over the weekend. But yeah, it's one of those things that I think it's there, let's use it, let's remember to use it, okay, because it's there, it's right in front of us. But before you go, a couple of things to mention. If you are looking at ways to get a TM6 on the bench, or maybe you know someone who is, okay, we have 48 months interest-free with Zip on at the moment. We've never had that before. It's a great way to get the Thermomix on the bench now and then start seeing the savings on your groceries and putting that to your Thermomix. And Zip's great because you can actually pay it out early. So you're not stuck at paying it for 48 months. You can pay it out early. You're not paying for the ongoing monthly fee with them then. So if you pay it out with your tax return, you've literally then cut all those monthly, because they have a monthly fee they charge, and you cut that out. So if you want info about that, let me know. But it's a great way, because it means you get that Thermomix and start saving straight away, rather than trying to save up and you're battling a grocery bill to save up at the same time. So that's on. We also have an Earn 4. So if you want to get a second TM6 on the bench, or maybe you've got a 31 or a 5 and you actually are keen to do what I do, show people the Thermomix, show them the difference it can make, give them an option of getting one on their bench, then Earn 4 is a way to do that. You actually pay an $850 deposit on the Thermomix, you buy the business kit, and then each of your 4 sales brings down the cost of your Thermomix, which is pretty cool. Otherwise, when you're buying a Thermomix at the moment, it can come with, well, it is coming with a free sensor. I love the sensor. You guys have seen the bread rolls with the sensor recently. When I get into doing lots of things simultaneously, the sensor is my lifesaver. Okay, you guys know that I'm a distracted cook, and I'm not a baker. I'm actually not even a good cook, let's be real. I can cook food, and I have a Thermomix that empowers me to do it with confidence and ease, but I'm highly distracted. So when I've got to start multitasking things, the sensor has been what has saved me from burning so many things in my oven. Okay, not normally meats. Meats, it's more taking the question mark out of, is it cooked or is it not? But for the actual baking of cakes and stuff, to know what that internal temperature is and know that it's done, and have my Thermomix and my phone singing at me to come tend to me in the oven, it's been amazing, okay? Because I just need that. I need something to tell me it's done, so that I've got the confidence to take it out and know that it's spot on, not burnt or not undercooked. Okay, nothing worse than pulling out a banana loaf and it's gooey underneath. Yeah, so that's what's coming as a gift with purchase at the Thermomix at the moment, if you are watching this in July at the moment. Okay, but otherwise that's about it for me. If you're a TM31 owner, you've just recently got an email. This is particularly for Australian customers, by the way. You've got an email and probably a text from Thermomix as well saying that, hey, parts are running out on the TM31 and they're not manufacturing them in Germany anymore. So if you want to get a TM6, there is a deal for you. So reach out. I'd love to give you the information about that, and I can share a link with you to do so. I'd love to support you to get the TM6 and use it more than just a TM31. Like, it's one of those things that it's, if the TM31's working great, it's like, well, why get a new one? But if you can get something that actually gives you more time and gives you more hands-free cooking and maybe empowers the people around you to be able to cook, then that's what I'm on about. I want it to be more than just the TM31 was. I want it to be what that was and more. Okay, so let me know if I can help you, or someone you know. Maybe there's someone around you who's got a Thermomix in your workplace or circle of friends. Make sure they know. I don't, I just don't want people missing out. Day after, there's inevitably someone on the day after, hey, is that still on? And you're like, oh, no, it's not. And I have no control over that. So anyway, that's it from me today. If I can support you with anything with your Thermomix, of course, don't reach out. Oh my goodness, it's really cold. No, do reach out. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to know you're getting the most out of your Thermomix. And if you get to something happening with your Thermomix, like today, when my Thermomix was like not playing for whatever reason, happy for you to pick up the phone. If it's something where you don't, if you're not sure what to do, take photos of your screens, okay? That really gives me an idea of how I can support you better. There's lots of troubleshooting I can help you with, but, when you can grab your phone and take a quick photo, it even, helps further. But yeah, please don't ever hesitate to reach out. I love to hear from you. I love to know what you're making and if there's challenges. I am about to put a newsletter out. I was halfway through doing that this morning, so feel free to jump over to TMX Adventures and look at the camera's fogged up. Sorry, guys. But go over to TMX Adventures. If you're not a subscriber and you don't get my newsletters, subscribe over there so you can be up to date with inspiration and what's going on. Always a bit of a sneak peek into our life and what's going on as well. But also usually, important info from head office and some recipe inspiration as well to continue to help you get more out of your Thermomix. But otherwise, guys, have a fantastic day. Take care of what you're doing, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video soon. Bye for now.